Hi, my name is Thais Gibson, and I'm the creator of the Personal Development School. This is your daily breakthrough video, and in this video, I'm going to talk to you about the dismissive avoidance top emotional and relational needs in their romantic relationship specifically. So what I want you to understand before I go into this really quick is just that every time we have an unmet need, we have a negative emotional feeling. And that feeling is designed as a feedback mechanism to basically alert our system that something is out of alignment. And this historically has served us for a very long time because if we had, hunger pains, then we would seek food. If we felt the discomfort of cold, we seek shelter. So our negative feelings the vast majority of the time are letting us know that we just have a need that's unmet. The only other thing that our negative feelings are really giving us feedback about constantly is if we're telling ourselves a negative story, if we have a thought process that's out of alignment. So if we start thinking that we're the worst person ever, or that I'm shameful or I'm defective, if we start speaking to ourselves that way, it will also create that negative response. So what I'm going to take you through today are some of the dismissive avoidance top needs from romantic relationships. And what you can realize is it's so often why you're triggered in your romantic relationships is because you have one or multiple of these needs that's not met. And it creates a sense of discomfort in the relationship that if left unmet for even longer periods of time will eventually be something that can really cause destruction in a romantic relationship. But if, on the other hand, you can start identifying these needs ahead of time and check in with them, and if you're feeling some negative way in your relationship, be able to reflect and be like, oh, which of these needs has not been being met recently? And then action a conversation to ask for these needs, to suggest things that can feed into these needs. This is how we move the needle back towards connection and maintaining a healthy connection in a romantic relationship and knowing what's important to us. So I've done a series for all the different attachment styles in these needs, and these are the dismissive avoidance. So the first thing that's really important, and these are in no order of hierarchy, they are just in alphabetical order. So the first thing is appreciation and acknowledgement. Dismissive avoidance really need appreciation, acknowledgement, and also acceptance. And acceptance is sort of the opposite of shame, right? So when DAs have this shame wound and put a lot of pressure on themselves and think that their flaws make them defective at their core, rather than just seeing their flaws as like, hey, I'm a normal human and I'm going to have flaws and I'm going to make mistakes sometimes. When somebody gives this to them, they really feel connected to this. It's like, wow, I have got this unconditional acceptance and appreciation. And this is sort of what makes a DA open up. And also DAs, I find as a general rule, really want to meet others' needs and show up for the relationship when they feel like their hard work is being appreciated and acknowledged. And you have to remember, dismissive avoidance, so much of their personality has been built around not being vulnerable to other people. And that's how they've kept themselves safe and protected and not needing other people and not having to be, outside of their comfort zone. And so when a DA is putting an effort to a relationship, bringing that appreciation, that acknowledgement, and saying I see you, I see the work you're putting in, really goes a long way. Other important needs for dismissive avoidance are a sense of cooperation in a relationship. DAs want to feel like their partner is working with them to solve for problems. If they feel like there's just this power struggle all the time, they feel like there's this logical component missing of, hey, let's cooperate, let's work through this, let's try to solve for this problem together. And if they feel like it's just an argument all the time that's left unsolved and there's a lack of cooperation in getting through it or strategizing beyond in order to solve the problem, then they can feel really disempowered and kind of go into why bother mode a little bit. Other really important needs are compassion and comfort. When a DA feels like there's a sense of compassion and comfort, along with that acceptance I was mentioning earlier, they start feeling again like they can sort of ease into opening up more. And this is where the needle really starts to move. Safety and stability and support. By the way, these are no longer in alphabetical order. Safety and stability and support are also extremely important for DAs. This is because these are things that the DA really didn't often feel like they got met enough in childhood. Maybe they got it met in certain forms, but definitely not in the emotional form. So there's still this big hole in this area they really needed. And so when there's a sense of safety and stability and support and a consistency around it, it tends to really speak volumes and land extremely well. DAs also really want to be understood in their relationships more than the partner often realizes. And that can be a really big one as well. And then DAs also want a sense of like learning in the relationship. They tend to feel really connected when they're learning with a partner. And they also tend to really value joy, from playfulness in relationships, from humor, and they really care about harmony in the relationship. It kind of goes back to that idea of cooperation, where that like cooperation, that harmony, they really go together. By the way, before I give you the last three needs here, if you want to do a deeper dive into this and know like exactly your partner's needs in relationships and also their wounds and their fears and their pain points, I have a series of courses. They're our advanced attachment style courses. And it's like the advanced DA or the advanced AP, the advanced FA. You can check them out for free for 7 days using the link below. And it will tell you not just your partner's needs, but also their wounds, their fears, the biggest things that they need to work through that you want to know ahead of time and be able to sort of see and not take personally. And it talks about it in all of the different stages of relationships. So when you're first dating somebody, all the way to like, honeymoon stage, power struggle, stability, commitment, bliss, those 6 major stages are all covered in that course. So if you just want the roadmap to learning your partner, it's a really great course to jump into. And then last but not least, our 3 other really important needs for a dismissive avoidant from their partner are a sense of integrity in relationships. They really, really care about a sense of participation in relationships. They really want to feel like both people are there, are showing up. And they also really care about a sense of presence. And sometimes it can feel a little bit like, presence, too much presence. But these are some of those emotional relational needs. And of course, at a deeper level, sort of outside of the relationship, but relating indirectly to the relationship, DAs also want their need for freedom and independence and autonomy to also be made space for in the romantic partnership. Even though that's more of like a sense of self-identity need, it's also something that they just want to be seen and heard and understood about. So hopefully this all makes sense and gives you a useful sort of start to your roadmap. Again, you can check out the Advanced Dismissive Avoidant course for a much deeper, more detailed roadmap. And that is it for today. Thank you for watching and for being here. And please subscribe to this channel and like and share. And I will see you in tomorrow's video.